Today I want to address a question that has likely crossed the minds of many. Will God really forgive all of my sins? It's a question that reflects our deepest insecurities, our regrets, and our longing for a second chance. To understand this, let me share a life-changing story that illustrates the profound nature of forgiveness. Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a young woman named Emma. Emma was bright, compassionate, and always willing to help others. However, like all of us, she had made mistakes in her life. She carried the weight of her past sins, feeling that they defined her and separated her from God's grace. One day, Emma learned about a unique tradition in her town. Every year, on a special day, people were invited to write down their most significant regrets and mistakes on a piece of paper. These papers were then placed in a large wooden box. At sunset, the box was set on fire, and the confessions turned to ashes, symbolizing the release of burdens and the promise of a fresh start. Emma decided to participate in this tradition. She took a piece of paper and began writing down her deepest regrets. The moments when she had hurt others, the times when she had made choices she wasn't proud of. As she wrote, tears streamed down her face, but with each word, she felt a weight lifting from her shoulders. On the designated day, Emma joined her fellow townspeople at the gathering. The box was placed at the center of a circle, and one by one, people approached it, placing their confessions inside. Emma's heart pounded as she added her own paper to the box. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the box was set ablaze. Flames danced, consuming the written confessions. The crowd watched in silence, and a sense of collective release filled the air. It was as if the weight of their sins had been lifted, and they could breathe freely again. Now, let's return to the question at hand. Will God really forgive all of my sins? Emma's story teaches us a profound truth. Just as the burning box transformed those written confessions into ashes, symbolizing forgiveness and a fresh start, so too does God's forgiveness transform our past mistakes into lessons. Forgiveness is at the core of many faiths, and it's not limited to any specific religion. It's a universal concept that speaks to the human spirit's capacity for renewal and growth. When we sincerely seek forgiveness for our wrongdoings, it's like placing our confessions in the burning box of divine grace. God's forgiveness is boundless, and it doesn't discriminate. It extends to all, regardless of the nature or number of their sins. It's a reminder that we are all imperfect beings on a journey of self-improvement and growth. However, it's essential to understand that forgiveness is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. It's about acknowledging our mistakes, learning from them, and striving to become better versions of ourselves. Just as Emma's burdens were symbolically lifted by the burning box, our hearts can be lightened by God's forgiveness when we seek it earnestly. So when you find yourself wondering, will God really forgive all of my sins? Remember Emma's story. Remember that forgiveness is a gift waiting to be received. It's an invitation to let go of the heavy baggage of guilt and start anew. In conclusion, my dear friends, God's forgiveness is a beacon of hope and renewal. It reminds us that we are not defined by our past mistakes, but by our capacity for growth, transformation, and the desire to do better. Seek forgiveness with sincerity, and you will find it. Just as Emma's story touched our hearts and transformed her life, may it inspire you to embrace forgiveness, to let go of the weight of your sins, and to move forward with hope and gratitude for the chance to begin anew.